He who wishes to be rich in a day will be hanged in a year. Leonardo da Vinci. Let's jump into these charts. We had 3 practice trades that hit today. The first one we'll jump into first. That's with the S&P 500. Down just a little bit there toward the end of the day, 0.07%, but we did have a trigger fire. Entered the trade around noon. I think it was like 12:05, something like that. And we had things go from red to green in the morning. And of course, we pulled that trigger. How did this work? Well, when we go to it, you can see where we entered it. We put in our stop at, or I'm sorry, our profit loss at 1.41. And that's what we're willing to risk for a 2.38% gain. On the upside, we use this little widget over here, the long position. We went ahead and put that in, and that is how easy it is. How did we come up with what our short was and our long position, our profit and our loss bands? Well, we use the average true range. That is part of our training. We got a great training on average true range. I'll put it at the end of today's video for those of you who haven't taken it. But if you look over, and I'm going to have to move away and the number's going to change, but if you look at the number that pops up right here in red on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and I go over here to it, you can see that it's 5.73. Well, that happens to be 573 ticks. You'll see that in the red box just below the little hand there. That ends up being 1.41% of the value. That is what we're risking, and we have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If you follow that out and do the math, you only have to win 4 out of 10 times if, again, you adjust the size of your trade based upon the risk that you're taking. And we've got another great training on that. In fact, I'm going to put as many of those new trainings as I can in the screen. They involve it's the always winning formula, the 2 I want to give you today, always winning formula and average true range. Those will help you understand what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, that is what we jumped into. Now, why did we do that? It's a positive 15 now. We're up on the 2-day, as you can see, passing through the 200 EMA, going up. And if you look at the weekly, also that weekly's above the 200 EMA. That's exponential moving average, and we're going up. Now, could this be topping off and it's not going to go up any higher and it rolls over on us? That is entirely possible. If it is, we'll cut our losses, we'll get out. But if not, we're going to ride that hopefully to victory. Now we move on to the Qs, the NASDAQ 100. We saw the same thing happen this morning where it rotated over going up, pushing through the 200 EMA. That initiated the trade for us. We jumped in there doing the same thing, risking 0.188% for a 3.75% hopeful gain. We based that again on the average true range. We jumped in around noon as that first candle was completing its drawing, and we are waiting up for the day 0.12%. Of course, again, 2-day green on the STC, a little below the 200 EMA. The weekly above the 200 EMA, green. We do have a green spinning top. So this doesn't look as good as the S&P, but still met our criteria. So we pulled the trigger on the practice trade. What's going on with bonds? Well, bonds are moving up, pushing above the 200 EMA on this half-day chart, but that doesn't mean anything for us because we haven't had the STC reset. Needs to move down through this center band and reset for us so we can consider jumping into an up move. If it rolled over right now and went down, we would have a hard time justifying that. Why? Because the 2-day, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see where the 2-day is in a green STC, moving up, actually been surging up here quite a while, but still well below the 200 EMA that you can see as I tighten up the band there. Weekly, same kind of thing. It went green last week, green this week, but well below the 200 EMA. So not all that interested in jumping into that if it rolls over going down because of the green STCs. Now, it's nice to see that things are still negative as far as being below the 200 EMA on those bigger charts, but I'm not excited about the STCs going against us. So we'll just wait, watch, and see. And I don't know what I just did, canceling out. I have no idea what I just did, but you know what I'm going to do for us is I'm not going to save things. I'm going to simply go to another chart, and I'm going to leave. This is what you do when you don't want to save over the work you've done before. I'm going to open another chart. This is one that you'll find interesting. I don't go over this too much on the channel. Hopefully this will open up pretty quickly. Yep, and now we are going to, once that loads up and I get my screen back, I apologize, this is taking so long. And then I'm going to go and open back up my STC chart. And as it opens, you can see that's a rather complicated screen. We have a much simpler chart that we prefer to use. There we go, everything's there. It's one reason I don't have it on autosave, in case I do something stupid like that. I don't end up auto-saving the mistake and have to reset my screen. There's probably an easier way to do it. If you know it, tell me. So anyway, we were on 20-year bonds basically saying we're not getting into any trade on this at this point, waiting for things to reset and get better. Let's go back to another trade that we did jump into today, and that was gold. We've been waiting for a while, haven't we? As gold reset, well, it fired off for us this morning, up for the day 1.85%. We jumped in around noon or so, same kind of thing. We used the STC to set the loss band. We got our profit band in there. We are charging, ready to go. Hopefully things will keep moving in our direction. What's made us excited about this was the 2-day, of course, surging through the 200 EMA, green STC, weekly surge through the 200 EMA over a 2-week period 2 weeks ago, continues to move up. STC is positive. Beautiful. So we jumped into that practice trade. I told you guys to be watching for these potentials this morning and this afternoon. Hope you jumped in so you can ride that practice trade to profitability. Now, what do we see going on with Bitcoin? Back down again today, 1.53%. Again, just waiting for market capitulation. By the way, I did record yesterday what I thought was a really good charting crypto and commodities for my Patreon members. It is loaded up at the Patreon page. It'll also be included today in the 20 weekly vertical crossovers. It'll be in that email. We'll have both the charting crypto and commodities and the weekly vertical crossovers. And for the rest of you, the charting crypto will be released tomorrow. So hope that you guys like that. Tell you, the most interesting thing about all that is what's going on with commodities, because really not a lot going on in the crypto space. As we look at this 2-day chart, you can, of course, see where things have bottomed, trying to move up some. Is that getting us super excited as to how far down things went? No. Might be a recovery here. We'll just continue to watch. I mean, we've got a red spinning top for the week, not that far off the bottom. And we'll just wait, watch, and see. It's probably going to take a while, but we'll let you know as we continue to follow it on a daily basis. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.